Welcome here, Michael at Wickerson Studios, jumping back out of the elements and back into paths, sites, items, and trees. How to understand Grasshopper 2 and think about all these new data structures in trees and lists and filtering. So if you're good at dealing with items, if you're good at dealing with lists, you definitely want to figure out how to deal with trees. Here's a really nice example, dead simple. Just download it off of my GitHub and you'll have it. It's day 79. Even though I'm starting to wander around a bit. So as you can see here, I can pick any number of points I want, and it stays along the diagonal. And the reason being that that is defaulting over here and keeping high on those numbers. But I could actually go through the range of taking my range into my grafted grid, and I can take the paths of that tree that are dependent upon that range, which will give me the integers of 0 to 10, or if I put this down to 5, it will give me the integers of 0 to 5, but things will round up. So you get these wonderful patterns as we go through here. Very nice to be playful this way. Same thing with the range into the sites from paths, because we're basically dealing with trees, we're dealing with sites, so you can handle it in the vertical and the horizontal order. What a wonderful way to start getting control of geometry. And this is just 2D, X and Y. Once you empower yourself this, you're set, you're taking your tree, you're processing your sites. From your sites, you're pulling your paths, and you're going back to the tree, and you've been pulling it from your path indexes. So really a nice visual, and all I've done is thrown on a little bit of a circle on a surface when we're done. And maybe I'll just do a little sample here, because when you get this far into datas, you're definitely going to want to go into assign radius. Let's pop this in here, and let's grab a radius of what we want as a metadata instead of those circles, which will be fun. We can put this one in. Hopefully it doesn't freeze out on me, and there we go. We got a huge number on the meta. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That's a huge meta. What has happened? 0.02. I'm not sure why that's defaulting like that. Best just keep what I have, I guess. We'll stay with the radius. We'll stay with the radius here until I figure out the meta. Oh, I always screw things up in the end just to confuse myself. We'll leave off the meta for now. There's no real point because I'm using the surface. And at least we can go in here and make a nice little color blue so we know what's going on. And there we go. Nice little powerful unit for finding patterns and dealing with items from site, which needs sites, which come from site from paths. Paths come from your index reference to your path, and then your path comes back to your tree and through your path index. So you get a little bit of taste of each thing, and you can start to gain some very nice control over your geometries through a range and the rounding functions of that, and you can change whatever you have and start to pull out some very interesting patterns that are completely your own doing. So I'm just going to fudge these around a little bit, leave that one high, leave that one short, come back to 10. Nothing that you weren't doing with probably all the list items or the sets. I guess if you look down in here and take a look at sets and trying to figure out what you can do in dispatch and null items and pick and choose or replace and weave and all that. But it's best to just get in there and do it with what you were doing with these 26 or 23 components that were in tree. Get in here and figure out how to use the basic sites, paths, in your tree stats, and then also figure out what you have to do within your statistics for your lists, and then come back to your indices. And what you may end up doing is actually dipping in a little bit here from your site and dealing with your, let's see where it was under lists. I think it was elements. Where do we get our elements? There's encoding, but there should be something in here that's dealing with elements, and I'm just not finding that under my tree right now. No, there it is, path from elements, if you want to break it down even farther into the square brackets. Anyway, very exciting stuff, very nice little script to get you playing a little bit and getting you to visualize what you need to know in data trees in Grasshopper 2. Thanks for watching.